about y'all, but there are times in our lives when life can get heavy. The pressure, the responsibility of carrying the load sometimes feels difficult. The weight of responsibility of tending for others in your life that you love. The suffering of making sacrifice to lead and take care of the family can sometimes get the best of all of us. And it's those times that we need to learn how to encourage ourselves. Because the question, I got a couple quick questions. I thought to myself, Adam, when I looked at this, what do you do when what you have planned does not turn out the way you planned? I don't know about y'all. Lifetime is, you got these plans, you got this roadmap. You think about the time of retirement, or you look at this relationship, you look at this child, but it didn't turn out the way you planned. I found out you got two options. You can quit, or you can encourage yourself. Ain't the Lord all right? And then after that, it's interesting that I asked myself, what happens when the struggle becomes personal? Because I help everybody else in their trouble. I'm the counselor, I'm the confidant, I'm the encourager for everybody else in their trouble. But what happens when the problem is on my back? And it looks like I now need some encouragement that I've been giving everybody else. You got to learn how to encourage yourself. Let me go on here, y'all, in this text, because to understand this verse 6, that latter part, you got to look at the context of the text. You got to see what is going on in the text. In chapter 29, David and his 600 men have been informed that they cannot participate in the fight. And so they had to go back home, which is a 3-day journey, to a place called Ziklag. And Ziklag was a place of refuge, because David is on the run from Saul. But he found refuge at Ziklag. And on his way back, took 3 days. They noticed when they got close, it was smoky. See smoke going up. And they got closer, they saw fire. And the place that they called their refuge is now being burned down. But then Sister McDaniel, what really got it, when they got there, they noticed that the women and the children were nowhere to be found. They had been taken captive by the Amalekites. And the Bible says in verse number 4 that David and the people, have I got a witness here? That were with him lifted up their voice and wept until they had no more power to weep. Oh, come on here just a little bit. I don't know about you. Has there ever been a time that you done cried your tears out? Your pillow is soaked with tears. Your eyes, you done cried so much, but you ain't have any more tears to shed. That's when life gets tough. When you ain't got no more tears. I've been crying, Joe, but I don't have no more tears. I've been trying to wipe my tears, but there's none coming out. All because it looks like I'm in a tough situation. Ain't the Lord all right? The Bible said it got personal. Because not only did he take the women and the children and the sons, but it says David's 2 wives were also taken. So not only did the people affected, but now the leader is affected. Ain't God all right? Sometimes y'all think the preacher don't have any trouble. Sometimes y'all think the preacher don't have any problems. Sometimes Sometimes y'all think the preacher kids always gonna do right. But you gotta understand, we got trouble just like you. And I want to tell somebody today, we cry just like you. Ain't the Lord all right? And the Bible says they cried till they couldn't cry anymore. But then verse 6 said David was greatly distressed.
That's what it says, bro.
When I looked at that word distress, it said David was in a strait. It said David was narrow. It said David was besieged. It said David was vexed. Ain't God all right? Anybody here ever experienced when life just get tougher and tougher? Get over one problem, here's another problem. Get down halfway straight, here's something else going on. Get your blood pressure down, then you have your heart problem. Get your heart problem right, then your wife start acting up. Child start acting up. Trouble in your way, and you're crying all the time. Ain't God all right? I'm distressed. And the Bible says, watch this language. And the Bible says in verse 6 that the people, because I asked myself, Joe, what made it distressed? What added the weight? And Joe, y'all, I'm just a simple little country boy. And I ain't gonna make up nothing in the Bible. I ain't got no big words for y'all. I ain't got no Greek or Hebrew. But can I tell you what the Bible says? What got him distressed, it was that the people spoke of stoning him. It didn't say that they had a rock in their hand. They just talked about it. And I know we say sticks and stones may break our bones, but names have never heard of it. I come to tell you that's a lie. Let folks start talking about it. It'll bother you. Let folks start talking against you. It'll bother you. I done got quiet. I guess y'all been talking about the preacher, so y'all can't say amen on that. They spoke of stoning him. But I couldn't get mad, Pastor McDaniel, of the people, because the text tell you why they spoke of stoning him. Because it said the people was grieved. Look at that word grieved. It means the people was bitter. And I found out when trouble is in your way, you got to be careful of not becoming bitter. But we ought to be better. I'm going to stay right there. I'm going to meddle just a little bit. Because see, some of y'all let your problems get you down, that you become bitter, anti-social, don't like being around you because your problems are weighing you down. Ain't God all right? They were grieved. Classmates, Lord, they were grieved. They were upset. And let me tell y'all something. What made them upset? Because they went out to war. They went out on the battlefield. But what happened is that when they found out that the enemy came behind them and did an ambush on their family. Y'all better hear me, church people. You got to understand, we got an adversary who's like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. And he's waiting for us while we're going to church to ambush an unguarded territory. They are going to war, but they wasn't guarding the family. And the Amalekites, being the cowards that they are, did not attack from the front, but they attacked from the rear. Does that sound like messy folks? They ain't gonna come to you in your face, but they talk about you behind your back. They stab wounds in you behind your back. They're terroristic type people. Ooh, y'all got quite a bit. And we got those folks in the church. Because if you're talking against the pastor, talking against the ministry, you're acting like a terrorist. Instead of you coming to the front, getting understanding, you're acting like a terrorist. You attack while I wasn't there. Ain't God all right? Help me, Holy Ghost. I'm on the battlefield. working for my Lord. And Barbara, I'm reading the Bible. I'm coming to church. I'm doing my financial obligation. But Satan attacked my rear. Ain't God all right? It seems like right when you get things in order, the child start acting up. Seems like when you get things in order, the relationship start acting up. Seems like when you get things in order, the job act up. It's just you're under attack from a terroristic threat. He ain't gonna come in the front. He gonna come from your rear. Ain't the Lord all right? Boy, I wish I had time to talk. Watch this, y'all. When I looked at the one that did the ambush, the Amalekites, I found out they had history with the children of Israel. But when I went to Genesis, and God had delivered them out of Egypt, and on their way out of Egypt, the Bible said the Amalekites attacked from the rear, where the sick and the lame and the feeble were. In other words, when you once a dog or once a cat, you're always a cat. If you're a terrorist, you're going to act like a terrorist. You can try to cover it up, but you're going to be who you really are. Ain't God all right? But I found something out. There, when God told Joshua, he said, I want you to destroy the Amalekites. He told Moses to destroy the Amalekites. And Moses built a memorial. And they call it Jehovah Nissi. To let the Amalekites know that God will be at war with them from generation to generation. Ain't God all right? Folks, don't take this personal. This fight we in is from generation to generation. I learned, Pastor McKinney, I don't get sad no more when folks lie on me. I don't get sad no more when they talk about me. It's from generation to generation. But I found what he says, that the Bible says here, but David. It told me what the people did. But it says here, but David. It told me how the people felt. But it says, but David. Now remember, the people and David all cried. The people and David all having problems. But the Bible said, but David. There's a different response. David, the Bible said, encouraged himself in the Lord. His God. What David said, even though it's a misfortune that trouble has caught me off guard, but I'm still going to give God some glory. He says to encourage me, David became stronger. Encourage me, David became firm. Encourage me, David hardened himself. Ain't the Lord all right? You got to understand that trouble gonna come your way. Problems gonna come your way. Sickness gonna come your way. But thank God you can get stronger when the winds are blowing contrary. You can get stronger when folks are talking against you. Ain't God all right? Thank God that what you went through didn't kill you. So long you here, you got an opportunity to make a difference in your life. Look, I ain't gonna do what the preacher did to me this morning, but y'all ain't helped me over here. Y'all ain't helped me right there. That's y'all problem. I just want to help everybody. Look at this. Look. David did something differently. New Hope, I want y'all to hear this. It says he encouraged. He made himself stronger. And now notice, he didn't get stronger in himself. Because the Bible says he encouraged himself in the Lord. He didn't get stronger with a bottle of wine. He didn't get stronger with crack or cocaine. He didn't get stronger by getting another woman, another man. He didn't get stronger by doing wrong or getting vision. He got stronger by encouraging himself in the Lord. Because y'all got to understand, all that other stuff is just temporary. I hate it, y'all. I hate it when I watch and I see and I hear about churches going through struggles and strain, and I watch folks who participate to talk against the ministry, how you better watch how God start moving folks out the way. God, if you talk too much, he knows how to close your mouth. I tell you, y'all keep thinking God will give you a stroke. And you'll be sitting on the side wishing you could say something. God would knock you down. You'll be wishing you could do something. Because you got to understand, this is God's ministry. But look what he said. So for those that asked the question I asked, Ernest, how did David encourage himself in the Lord? Here we go, y'all. How? Because I asked was, how did he do it? I didn't read, I didn't see it there. But I went to verse 8. All right. Verse 8 said, David called for the ephod. Represent the box, the presence of God. And David did something that we all said we doing. David prayed. How did David encourage himself in the Lord? It's through prayer that David got his encouragement. But y'all watch this today. Notice that it's through prayer that he asked God for direction. See, many times, Joe, we ask God for what we want. Lord, I need $10,000. Lord, I need me a wife. Lord, I need a new job. No, David wasn't asking, but David was asking for direction. And I don't know about y'all, when you're in a distressed situation, when you're in a strait, when you're in a narrow, when you're in a tight situation, that's when you need to ask God for direction. Watch this right now. See, some of us are praying for stuff for next week, but I need it right now. David ain't got time for next week because my wife has been taken away. Children have been taken away. We need prayer right now. We need him now. We need him now, y'all. Look what he says in verse 8. He said, Lord, do I pursue or do I overtake them? And the Bible said, God said, pursue. Ain't the Lord all right? Hey, Lord, watch this. Watch this. What exposes the text back then is that David left the first time going to war. He learned something. The reason why the Amalekites were able to ambush him because he left his rear open, because he didn't get direction from God before he left. So David said, I don't want to make the same mistake twice. So this time, Lord, I'm going to ask you, what do I do? Joe, when you've done all you can do. Psalm says, stand. When you've done all you can do, go ask the Father. When you've done all that you do, have a little talk with Jesus. Won't he make everything all right? But hold me, Holy Ghost. Watch it right there. I'm coming your way. Just because you ask for direction, you got to follow the direction. You're praying to God, and God is telling you and showing you that you need to be quiet, but you instead of talking. You asking God, show me how to make the relationship better. He said, humble yourself, but you said it's been arrogant. If you ask God for direction, then follow the direction. Let me prove it in the text. He said, come on, pursue. I want to pursue. I got your permission to go after me. I can fight fight now, dog. You've been holding back, but now I can fight. But watch this. It said, when you read this account of the story, him and the 600 men takes off and stop by a brook by Beora. When they get to the brook, they take a water break. And at the water break, 200 said, I quit. David's numbers went down from 600 to 400. When you ask God for direction, you got to pursue where the folks stay with you and not with you. Ain't the Lord all right? Some of y'all trying to do something about, if I just had them on my side. I don't need you on my side. I need the Lord on my side. But then, not only did he ask the Lord through prayer, he strengthened himself by asking God for direction. God said, pursue. David does what God said, regardless if folks drop off. But man, the next part, Barbara, is the joy for somebody out there. He says, through prayer, not only does God give you direction, but watch this, y'all, through prayer, God gives you a promise. Help me, Lord God. Keep reading in verse 8, y'all. Look what he said. For thou shalt surely overtake thee. Ain't God all right? I've learned, like Tola Morgan said, folks in church don't know when to shout. Y'all missed it. I'm going to read it again. For thou shalt overtake thee. I'm going to say it. I ain't had no shout yet. For thou shalt overtake thee. For thou shalt overtake thee. Well, let me give you some context to the scripture. You got to understand the Amalekites got a 3-day head start. But God gave David a promise that the word overtake means to reach. In other words, you're going to reach them. You're going to catch up to them. Here's a mighty revelation word for somebody every day. You've been thinking you at the back door, at the end of the road. But I got a word. If you keep encouraging yourself with the Lord, you will overtake them. You're going to be where they are. But when I found something else out, not only do you catch them, but you surpass. Ain't God all right? Anybody got a shout right there? They say you weren't going to be where you are, but look where you are now. All because God gave you the ability to overtake you. But then God, though, every now and then, he gave me a nice little illustration. Y'all know, my classmates in here, I ran track. I wasn't no track star, I just ran track. Go to the track meet. And one time, I watched our 4x1. We had an anchor leg named Paul Kenny. On this particular relay, Paul Kenny, when he got the stick from Ricky Williams, they were behind. Everybody, all the other anchor legs had the stick and was already running. But I watched Paul Kenny get that stick from Ricky. Not only did he catch it, but he surpassed it. Because Fremont won the race that day. Somebody here got to understand, God got a finish line. Quit looking at somebody else's career. Quit looking at somebody else's life. It ain't the finish line. God got a finish line and give you time to overtake. Where did I got to go? But I got to give y'all one that made me shout. I'm going to read it again so y'all won't shout. He said, not only are you going to overtake them, but he said, without faith, you will recover all. I ain't got the response. Let me read it again. He said, without faith, you shall recover all. It's in your Bible. He said, without faith, you shall recover all. When you look at verse number 18, it says David recovered all that he lost. His 2 wives, he rescued them. I thank God for letting us know that what Satan has taken from us, you will get it back. And you got the determination to keep on and carry yourself. I know these little booger woogers make you cry all night long, but they hang on in there, Barbara. will recover all. Because God's word won't come back, Father. The problem is, y'all, we have quit believing in God. All David had was promise. And he was standing on the promises of God. And he watched God fulfill that promise. Because God gave him everything.
That's right. That's right.
Then he lost
Amen.
everything. Then he lost everything. Why? Because he encouraged
Amen.
himself.
Amen.
Sometimes when there is no support, I'm learning this in pastor leadership at my job. When you have no support, that's a good place to be in. You know why it's a good place to be in? Because then you see God is there. Ain't the Lord all right? When the frat brothers don't do what they say they're going to do. Have I got a witness here? When you can't find co-workers that say they're going to get your back, don't have your back. You're in a good place because that means God will show up. The Bible says he's a very present help in the time of trouble. So I don't know what my end may be. But I know that God happened to allow sickness to hit this body. I know I'm in a good place. Because I didn't know God is right by my side. I know if my family make me cry, I'm in a good place. Because God will wipe tears from my eyes. Because I know when trouble comes our way, and we got to cry sometimes, then you get to experience God strengthening you. Ain't God all right? Joe, he gonna make you stronger. I know you shed some tears, but he ain't through blessing you. Ain't God all right? Won't God do it? Do I have any witnesses in the house? Won't God do it? Won't God strengthen you? Won't he make a way out of no way? Won't he pick you up when you die? Won't he lift your head one more time? Ain't God all right? If you know he'll do it, say yeah. Say yeah. But keep on encouraging yourself in the Lord. But thank you, Lord. I can't stop there. It says his God. See, everybody ain't worshiping the same God. David said his God. And I said, Sister Leon, how could he encourage himself in his God? David reflected where God had already brought him from. And he said, if he did it then, he can do it right now. You got to keep a faith fight. And know if God did it then, he can do it right now. David reminds himself that his God is able. Anybody know God is able? He reminded himself that his God is powerful. Ain't God a powerful God? He reminded himself his God is faithful. Won't God be faithful to you? Even though you may not be faithful to him. Ain't God all right? He reminded himself that God is dependable. I might be crying, but I know God don't come through on time. Ain't he all right? Is he all right? Yeah. I know he's all right. He's all right. Thank you for strengthening me. Thank you for making a way out of no way. Thank you for being my God. He all right. Yeah. And then you can relate to me. On Wednesday, I had to make a presentation. And Joe, I struggle all Monday night and Tuesday on my presentation. Because the boss told me to make a presentation, but she didn't give clarity to what she wanted. Didn't know what she really wanted. She just told me, make this presentation. Got with my co-worker. I said, man, let's do this one thing. Let's put our presentation together. Whether she like it or not, we'll have a presentation. Because we go in there without one, then she going to get us for not doing what she asked us to do. Oh, I was nervous. Didn't know how it was going to go. I wrestled and I talked with God. And I read my scripture that I was going to tell my friend that I got to encourage myself. And the Lord, my God, got there on Wednesday, stood up with confidence, shared the vision, and the meeting went beyond my expectations. When the boss walked in, she said, I got to give you praise because you surpassed my expectations. And I tell you, it's in the text. The Bible says David not only recovered all, but all the spoils of the Amalekites. He got all of them too. Oh, God, give you more than what you deserve. It's all right. It's carried. Let's take the privilege.
Amen. Amen.